Did you know there was a real-life Halloween 2 murderer? Stay tuned to find out. Hey folks, Pat that Halloween movie collector. Getting into spooky season, and what's more spooky than a real-life Michael Myers killer? Well, if you didn't know, there was a killer who said he was inspired by Halloween 2 to kill an elderly couple. A man in his 20s named Richard Delmar Boyer on the night of December 7th, 1982, who he had befriended an elderly couple and was over their house. They invited him over to eat something. Francis and Eileen Harbitz, who were in their late 60s. And seemingly after they ate, he stabbed them to death. More than 40 times each. It was like a bloodbath. And his defense was he was inspired by Halloween. He didn't know, he was blurred between the reality and fiction of the film. Basically, layman's terms, he was using this as a defense against, he was basically a drug addict, alcoholic. He was basically a piece of shit. So he claimed on the night of the murder, he drove to the Harbitz house to borrow money. And on the way there, he had smoked PCP and started having violent flashbacks to Halloween 2 because he had seen it so many times. And it just caused him to bludgeon them both to death. Now, this was a historic first at the time because using a horror movie as a defense. But of course, like I said, the jury didn't buy it, and he was sentenced to death. The first trial ended in a mistrial because apparently he wasn't read his Miranda rights. So I guess they had to pursue that because, you're supposed to have your rights read to you because it's there to protect you. His friend testified that he had been waiting in a car outside and testified that he came out, he had blood on him, he had a couple of cuts on him from, I guess, when he was stabbing them. So, and he basically stole their money and took off. Well, I don't know about you. That sounds like you're kind of in your right mind. I mean, you're a fucking lunatic for killing somebody, but doesn't mean you're obsessed or... Basically, he was on drugs and he needed drug money. Killed somebody, killed an elderly couple who befriended him, gave him odd jobs to do, gave him some money for doing those jobs. And I think he stole all of maybe 50 or 60 bucks out of their fucking wallets. I mean, so go figure that one out. And to this day, he's still sitting on California's death row. Now he's in his 60s. And so he was convicted the second time around, and they didn't buy the whole Halloween 2 angle. And as of today, he's one of the most longest sitting people on death row, California's death row. Because you figure he was convicted in 84. Here it is, 2025, and he's still there. And also, he was friends with the elderly couple's son. That's how he befriended them. And he was caught because of that. I think he was caught maybe about a month or so after that. And it was a tip-off from the son because the son kind of figured he had something to do with it because, it doesn't say anything about the son, how the son was, because, I mean, why would he be hanging around with this piece of shit? But a tip-off from him, got him caught, and so there you go. There was his defense. His defense was, I went to the Harbitz house, which was the elderly couple's name, high on drugs, hallucinated I was Michael Myers because I couldn't blurred between reality and fiction because of the drugs, and between the two of them, I think he stabbed him like 45 times. So, yeah, no. I've watched plenty of horror movies in my life. Just look at this. I don't do drugs. I don't do any shit like that. I can pretty much tell the line between fact and fiction. So, yeah, and there's also another one. I'll do a video on that, too. There was another link to a murderer that blamed it on Rob Zombie's Halloween. So maybe I'll do a video on that. I'm sure people, because that was only within the last, I figure Rob Zombie's Halloween was out in 2007. That was probably in the last 15, 16 years. So maybe I'll do a video on that. But yeah, so to this date, Boyer's still sitting on California's death row. He's in his 60s and probably just going to live out the rest of his life behind bars for killing this poor, friendly couple that took him in and took care of him and blamed it on one of my favorite films, asshole. Well, there you have it. A real-life Michael Myers murder, so to speak. Bullshit. I'm Pat, that Halloween movie collector. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you like Halloween, you like spooky season, you like any of that kind of shit, this is the place to be. Hit that like button. Helps people find this channel who are just as fucked up in the head as I am. If you haven't subscribed, The hell you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. Come back for some more horror stuff, music, and all sorts of fun shit on this channel. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.